Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Founder Friday, where we sit down with some of the most innovative startup founders in the world and uncover their journeys, lessons, and what they're building and what's shaping what's next. So, I'm Hina Purohit, Director of AI Startups here at Microsoft, and I am thrilled to be joined today by Jeff Liu, the founder and CEO of AKOOL, which, by the way, is one of the fastest growing AI startups out there. If you've seen hyper realistic AI avatars or real time video translations, there's a big chance that AKOOL's technology was behind it. So, Jeff, welcome to Founder Friday. We are glad to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me to the Founder Friday. I'm very excited to talk about us and all the different cool stuff. Yeah, thank you for inviting.
Of course. And I'd love to take it from the very beginning, Jeff. Every founder has that moment where there's a gap that they see in the world and they decide to fix it. I'm curious, what was that for you and what inspired you to create AKOOL?
Yeah. So in our case, my background is pretty technical. So I actually spent a very long time, more than a decade, working on videos. I'm just passionate about making videos and looking at good videos and the movies and so on. And the things that we noticed is even as a person like me who is like half professional on the videos, right? I mean, more on the algorithm side, but not on the creation side. That it's very hard for me to create videos, and it's also very hard to like really able to interact with videos and all these kind of things. So the technology changed. We noticed that about 4 years ago, that a lot of the AI power enables you to create videos very easily. Start with something small and then move to the whole video creation. And we see the opportunity over there with the tech innovations, and we think that will definitely benefit a lot of the prosumers and a lot of the business to enable them to easily create videos. And I'm so passionate about video, so I think it's time for me to do something different and come out from big companies and get something going. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And this is where the video space is really hard. So I want to dive into the technology first as a starting point because it's one of the most complex technology areas. There's video, but there's also the speech aspect of it. For there's real-time language translation, of course, the real-time video generation, the avatar creation, all of these pieces coming together. So I'm curious, how did you think about what were the most complex technological pieces that you faced as you built this out?
Yeah. So in our case, we feel the most complex things is really getting the things working in real time and you can interact with it. And it's even harder when you want to put it in a compute constraint such as the edge devices and you want to interact with it in real time. The thing that we do is we create very specialized model with a lot of optimizations in terms of model architectures and inference speed and how to do faster inference and how to form better architectures, and a lot of the things are being done. And not just on the model side, it's also a lot of engineering optimizations on the data streaming and the interactions and connect to the live service of the voice translations, all these things. So it's a very comprehensive work over there. And it's definitely the most difficult part for the technologies we created, especially if you want to make it like really hard to tell whether it's a real human or not real human, or whether it's a real video of from a camera or it's not a real video from camera, then it becomes extremely hard. Yeah.
And Jeff, lots to unpack there. But you mentioned models. Let's start there, especially because one of the decision points that founders are facing is, should we start with an open source model? Should we build on a proprietary frontier model? Should we build our own? How do you think about that decision?
Well, that decision is simple for us. The main reason is the core team where we initially come are all in this background. We are all building models and publish papers, including me. So I would strongly prefer to build models ourselves where possible, and then only leverage open source models when it's not our core offering, and so on. So that's my strong preference over there. I I think it's very important because when we have our own models, we are not limited to like the margins, and we are not in direct competition with all the same offerings and that kind of things. So definitely, our own model is very strong. And leveraging open source is also something that we do. So for the video foundation models, we leverage some open source. But our we have a core strength, which is really speeding up the models and accelerating it, make it run on the limited compute resource and so on. So even though we leverage open source, we do heavily modify on top of it, especially on the speed side, compute constraint side, and fine tune and that kind of thing. So, but most of our core models are from scratch. We build it from scratch, so it's not related to any of the open source. So, yeah.
That's fascinating. And I guess that also is driven by how your deep research and technology skills are one of the things that differentiate you as a company. And because you're always on the bleeding edge of technology, what else is out there? Like, what other innovation are you thinking of?
Yeah. So there are quite many exciting things happening at the moment, and we are really trying to push hard on the boundaries of the real-time video creation abilities. So if you look at the market now, when you're trying to create the videos in real time, there are still lots of constraints and a lot of quality issues and all these kind of things. And we are pushing boundaries over there. And it involves lots of the optimizations, speed up, and architecture optimizations, lots of different things. And another thing that we are integrating and doing a lot is we want to optimize each model to each workflow. And we want that optimization to happen very quickly. So building out frameworks to quickly optimize each model to all the different workflows. That's another thing that we focus on. So yeah.
That's awesome. And then I want to maybe switch a little bit to moat, because a lot of what you're describing to me is also a part of what differentiates you as a company. But one of the questions that all our AI founders are being asked, they're thinking about themselves, is what is my long-term competitive differentiation as a company? Where's the moat is the question. How are you thinking about that at AKOOL?
Yeah. I think that's a good question, and that's a question probably for most of the AI founders. And how do I think about it? So there are several things we think pretty important in terms of the moat. First is our technology. So we are definitely leader in the live video generation and the on-device video generation. And for many of the things we do, we are currently the only player in the market. And that's why we are able to work with some of the largest logos and so on. And on the human video side, we also have specialized technologies around the human face, human body motions, and so on. So that's very strong. We have a strong mode over there. And as we grow, accumulate more user data and feed the data back to the model, we assume the mode will continue. And the second thing is it's the industry know-how and the workflow. So we've been serving business and enterprise for almost 3 years, starting from the earliest one. And the different industry and different workflows, they are very different in terms of how get things work and how to best optimize. That's also we are developing the abilities to quickly adjust our system and the models to different workflows. So, but that know-how is very important. And in field like marketing advertisement and live video interactions, we already accumulated lots of experience and lots of know-how. And that's 2 to 3 years of accumulation. And I think anyone who wants to go to the market, they also need to accumulate the workflow integration experience, optimization experience, and the know-hows and all the things with 2 to 3 years. So that's another mode over there. And the third one is lots of the partners, channels, and lots of the client stories and all these things. These are also serving at the mode. We actually heavily work very closely and heavily with partners and also with channels as well. And for many of them, when they work with you, they are not likely to work with other company anymore. And even many of them, we find exclusive. So these are very strong mode on the go-to-market side. So definitely, I think these are all the things that's very important. And as the industry moves and develops, I think it will become harder and harder for the newcomers to get into the product, get into the industry, and so on. And also, AKOOL as a platform is developing deeper and deeper into its workflows and offerings and so on. It's very hard for people to catch up.
Absolutely. And I want to pick on that last part because one of the things, if you're a new founder today, we know VCs are looking for is speed. And you were ranked number one on Inc. 5,000 list. So you are officially one of America's fastest growing company and actually the fastest growing company, I should say. So what's the secret? How do you scale fast yet have that same speed?
Yeah, that's definitely a very good question. So there are several things that we believe in. First is moving fast and efficient. It's something that we strongly believe in. And at the startup, I think fast is very important, and also efficiency. So we are able to do that because we build a company culture around it, around getting things move fast and getting things done quickly and efficiently and so on. And that's a very different value from, I mean, startups and big companies. Even within startups, it's very different. And the second thing that we believe in is our ability to develop the core product really well. So on the technology side, we are really doing something different and innovative, and it's what the user want, and that is really important. And on the product side, we are really iterate a lot and fit to the user needs, and just always listen to the users. I think that's another very important piece around how to grow faster. So it's about the culture, efficiency, and it's about the product and the premium abilities about the product, and really fit the user needs and have the product market fit. I think that's the thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I want to tease that out a little more, especially because a lot of our founders are still in that 0 to 1 journey. So, can you talk us through those first few customers and how you landed those?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about our first enterprise clients. So we are very lucky to have Coca-Cola as our first enterprise client. So that is early days, at very early of the company. So we kind of still exploring a little bit and trying to close enterprise deals, but it's hard. So how that happened is we get inbound that tell us that they are very interested in our technology, wants to run a marketing campaign, and they didn't tell us with the client. Actually, in our industry, it's very often they don't want to tell you who are the clients. So and then they just onboard themselves, and we helped them a little bit integrating APIs and benchmark the qualities and all the things. And they found out we have the best quality on the market. So then about they kind of disappeared, went silent for 2 to 3 months, and then come back to us and then we finished all the diligence of the technology and we think you are the best. So then they told us that it's Coca-Cola and they really want to work together and all these kind of things. So that's how we get started. So it's an inbound, and they mainly the core things for there to be inbound in our technology, and they just benchmark and picked us. So yeah.
That's amazing. And the fact that this was an enterprise sale and an inbound is great. And I think, did you have a PLG motion in place to focus on these inbounds? Were you explicitly targeting enterprises?
Yeah. So we do PLG and SLG as well. PLG, I think more on the PLG side. So we mainly like talking to a business, like no matter small or large and so on. And frequently they will onboard on our platform themselves first, and then they will keep using it. And if they like it, they will scale up their usage. And frequently they will go back to the company and tell them, okay, they want something bigger and so on. Then we goes to the sales process, and the sales get involved. We also have the sales driven, so which is outbound and so on. But inbound is the majority. So we handle, I think, a lot of our larger clients on the inbound side. And we also have the partners, which is both from inbound as well as the connections. So we have a connection in the field who is able to introduce us lots of partners, and these larger partners can introduce lots of the good clients as well. So.
That's awesome. And I think so. You mentioned PLG, SLG, and then earlier you also mentioned channels. That's actually a perfect segue into partnerships, especially because we know that you've chosen to build on Azure as you scale. So I'm curious, how has partnering and being a part of Microsoft for Startups opened doors for you?
Yeah. So it's definitely very exciting to work with Microsoft for startups, and we are using many of the resources over there. I think the first thing we do is the language model we are using from the Azure, and also the live video translation. Actually, the translation piece is also from there, and some of the GPU resources and all these kind of things. So we get a lot of support over the process. And also, we onboarded our solutions onto the Azure marketplace, and lots of the exciting things are happening. So definitely, we really like the experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. Exciting things happening and more to come. I also, so as a company, I think one of the biggest reasons people also prefer Azure or Microsoft is because of our responsible AI mission. And I know AKOOL shares the same. So I'm curious, especially because this world, when we talk about like avatar creation, real-time video generation, there's a lot of potential for misuse or harms. How are you thinking about things like ethics, responsible AI at AKOOL? And I'm curious about what guardrails you're building in place within the company.
Sure. Yeah, I think the trust and the safety and all the things are very important. And if you look at the B2B space, I think most of these companies have a pretty strict guidelines around how their AIs can be used, as well as what kind of the things they want to monitor, and how their data are being handled. So we handle it very carefully. So we match all the data safety, security criteria, and also we probably handles all the data and all the kind of things. In terms of how to avoid it to be misused, we have multiple systems in place for that. And on the B2B side, actually, we give more of the rights to the clients, and we offer something called Java's content moderator, and we give the client the whole freedom for them to decide what kind of the content they want to moderate and so on. Such as if you are a McDonald's and you don't want people to throw the burger on the ground, then it will enable you to detect the actions that you throw a burger on the ground or doing the burger with these kind of things, and it will it will moderate the content. And on the platform side, we also have content moderation guidelines, and we do content moderation, and we will ban accounts that violates content moderations and all these kind of things. And also, we have the technology to put the watermarks and some maybe invisible watermarks into the videos. So it will help to tell whether the video is AI generated or non-AI generated and so on. And on the real-time side, I think moderation becomes definitely a little bit harder, but still you just need more effort on the content side and so on to avoid the misuse and so on. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've really got the technology, you've got processes both within the company, and then guidelines and processes and control you give to your customers. That's such a holistic solution. I'm also curious because this is a question a lot of enterprise leaders are facing. What advice do you have for CMOs or just enterprise leaders who are thinking about AI content creation at scale? How should they think about balancing that creation with maintaining that human authenticity?
Yeah. So I think it's definitely important to have realistic videos and human touch and all these kind of things. But the technology is moving too fast, so I think it will renovate the industry. So for the marketing, especially if you look at the marketing space, lots of the marketing videos creation was impossible or very expensive before. I'll give some examples such as personalized videos. If you want to create one personalized videos per customer or per use case or per language or so on, like localization, it's very hard. It's almost impossible for business to do it before. Even larger business, I think smaller business, they just give up. Right? It's impossible for you to personalize video for small business. Even larger ones, it's very hard, and AI just enabled that. And also, it enables you to create lots of the messaging that people will feel they are touched and it's talking to them. So that's a big piece. So without AI, you just cannot do it. And on the side of the other things, on the special effects side, I think the thing we do is still speeding up and lower the bars of these special effects for marketing, advertisements, and so on. Before AI, people can still do these special effects. It's just much more expensive, and now they can do it at a significantly cheaper price. And definitely, there could be some concerns if you are using some celebrities to advertise your products or these kind of things, right? But I think there is content moderation kicks in and all these kind of things. So definitely, we think there will be some regulations and the things happening, especially around the copyrights and this kind of stuff. So it's a exciting space, though.
Exciting space, and I really love how you're allowing them to both build AI generated images from scratch and edit, because like you said, there's a huge value to be unlocked in just creating a video but then editing it using Gen AI. It's still significantly cheaper. Jeff, I have a few rapid fire questions I want to throw at you now. So like you said, this space and just Gen AI generally is moving really fast. What advice do you have for founders that are building in this space?
Yeah, I think the keeping the space is probably the most important thing. So we are also in the stage that we think we always want to speed things up, and especially for us as we grow, we feel it becomes a little bit harder and harder to keep things moving fast when you only have a small team and everyone is moving really fast. And then when the team grows, then there's so many cross-team communications and all these things, and team move a little bit slower. So I think developing the team organization and the culture to maintain the efficiency and maintain the speed in the market is very important. Building in the industry. And another thing is about innovation. So still, the technology and the innovation and the tech moat is really important. So if you are a, integrator or a reseller, I think moving forward it will be harder. So, but if you have your own core technology and can offer something different, then you are definitely making a difference on the market. So I think these are really important. So about the moving fast and so on. And the last thing is actually go deep into the workflow. So as the larger players build the infrastructure better, lay out the better infrastructures and foundation models and all these things, I think there is a big opportunity to go to the deeper workflows and deeper applications for different use cases, different scenarios. And these are really important as well. And you will have lots of support from all the different players like Microsoft Azure and so on. So you can build much deeper into the workflow, and your customer will be happier and more sticky as well.
Absolutely. And you mentioned technology and innovation. What AI innovation are you most excited about?
Yeah, so we pay more attention into the multimedia space because that's a thing that we feel excited. And definitely the live, real time, interactive, and all these things are very exciting. And also, we see that lots of these abilities have the potential to be used in robotics. So robotics is another field we feel the picture or the vision is also very exciting. I think that takes longer time though. The way to go there will be longer, but it's also very exciting as well. So and I think robotics can be combined with video generation as well. So I know some companies that like using video generation to create training data or various data for robotics and so on. But that's a very exciting field. So a lot of the live videos, interactive videos, and their potential to apply it to robotics and all these kind of things. Yeah.
Absolutely. Jeff, I'm going to say this was an incredibly insightful conversation. Thank you for your time. Really appreciated hearing about both your journey and the actionable insights that you had for other founders. Where can people find you? Is there any call to action you want to share with them?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, you can find us at AKOOL.com, AKOOL.com, and we offer lots of the video abilities, including avatars, interactive avatars, translations, and video foundation model, video generation. So, and we have a very good customer support, customer service. So, if you are thinking about doing something in the space, happy to find us. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. And to everyone listening in, a cool story is such a great example of how, if you're building a company in AI today, speed and scale are important, but making sure you're backing it with trust, with a vision, with a responsible AI mission is also equally important. So thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time.